This is Crystally by Kreutz. Your Creative Push, episode 75. Welcome to Your Creative Push, the podcast that pushes you to pursue your creative passions. I'm your host, Youngman Brown, and my guest today is Yliana Paolini. Yliana is a constant doubter, doubting everything from herself to the universe itself. She's an artist from Luxembourg who likes to create but doesn't see herself as a great artist, just someone who is willing to go beyond her comfortable zone to get more of what she loves, which is passion itself. Now, Yliana, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the show, and I'm sure I'm not the first one to tell you, but you can put all that doubt aside because you are one of the most talented artists that I have definitely come across. But I do know what you're talking about, though. This doubt is like this universal thing that I think is in everyone forever. It doesn't quite go away.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and yes, it's exactly like that. Like, I don't think it will ever be over. So I think somehow that brings me and bring us a lot of push to always search for new horizons and to push out of our comfort zones all the time. So I think I don't see it as a negative point, but besides that, like more as a positive thing. Sometimes it's a little bit too much, but yeah, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, and speaking of that, like of kind of pushing beyond your comfort zone, you're kind of a special guest because when I reached out to you is because of your artwork and specifically your tattoo artwork, which is phenomenal, and everybody should go check that out. But then when you responded, you're saying that you're kind of starting this new thing, which I thought was very interesting. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. All right, I've been tattooing for around 7 years now. I started pretty much, let's say, by coincidence or something like that. And right now it is my job. I treat it as my job, and I do the best I can, and I please people very much. Like people come to me and they tell me what they want, and I try to create something very nice for them, something very unique, something that nobody else has, and I treat it as my job. So I give the quality that people is expecting and paying for. But at the same time, I have my personal needs, and this is where I try to create my art without the intention of pleasing someone or without the intention of looking for any reward or somebody liking it or not. If somebody likes it, it's all right. If not, then it's okay. But then it comes to music, when music is actually the way I can express myself the best way, and it's a way that I feel very, very vulnerable when I put it out there online to people to hear it, to listen to it. It's music for me is my healing tool. So it's another project. I think it's just part of myself as an artist who is creating and always doing something to develop myself somehow.
Absolutely. And how long have you been doing music, and how long have you been thinking about it?
Oh, well, I started to make music like seriously, like a year and a half that I started studying music production. But I play guitar since I am like 15, but then I stopped because I went to university, and you need to focus. And at the moment I was like, okay, I really need to finish this career, which is architecture. I have a degree in architecture. And I did it because, pretty much to meet up the social standards and to have a degree, etc., etc. I was not very aware of what I actually wanted in life, so I did it, and I'm glad I did. I don't regret it, but I wish I wish I were at the moment a little bit more aware of things. So I would have go deeper into music. So then I stopped, and then recently, like 4 years, 3 years, I started seriously going into music again, and just recently, like a year and a half, I got myself into music production and mixing and all this technology interesting thing that I really like. So yeah.
And what's that feel like? Like, because you literally, at the time of this recording, just released your first EP about a week ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's wonderful. Everybody should check it out, by the way.
Thanks.
But what does that feel like? Now that you've actually kind of, been working on this for a year and a half, and you've actually put the content out, how do you feel?
It feels a little bit strange
Uh-huh.
because you realize that, at least for me, I realized that you have to do it for yourself. You cannot do it for anybody else. You cannot do it for the sake of having suddenly 1,000 listeners. You really need to enjoy it, otherwise you're gonna be really disappointed. Because first of all, it's not a secret that music life is a little bit complicated in a way that probably you're not gonna make yourself. You're not gonna maybe make a lot of money out of it. Some people is very creative in a way that marketing and all those things. Maybe that's not my strength, but it feels satisfying in some way because it was always part of my dreams. It's a growth. It's a personal growth that when I saw finally the artwork and when it was mastered and when it was all online, I was like, oh wow, it doesn't matter, just have one follower, but it's just amazing, I was not completely satisfied with the result, it's just a starting, and that's all right. That's just fine the way it is.
Absolutely, and that's something we talk about all the time on the podcast. Is once you kind of get this desire to create, it's like you're stuck with it until you put content out, until you actually kind of scratch that itch, so to speak. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be always thinking about it. So congratulations on doing something and putting it out there and succeeding in creating the thing that you've been thinking about.
Thank you.
And it's great too, and I can't wait to hear more. So is there like any kind of tension that you have between the two art forms, like the tattoo artists?
No, not anymore. I used to very much. And I think I found myself some sort of balance, realizing that one thing lead me to the other, mm-hmm. and one thing opened the doors for me to do something that I really wanted, because economically it's easier having a stable job, something that I could manage my time. I could decide where to work, when to work, and how much free time I wanted in order to be able to become a better musician.
Absolutely. Would you have any kind of suggestions for somebody who's listening now that is pursuing, one form of art, whether it be, painting or writing, and maybe want to start another one like you have, like music or like photography or, mm-hmm. Anything else really that is creative, but they kind of don't. They have that excuse of, well, I'm doing this one thing. I'm defining myself as a painter. I've mm-hmm. already defined myself as a writer. How could I possibly like dip my toes into another art form? Even though I really want to, like I have to stick with one. Would you have any advice for them?
Yes. The only one I could ever have is just my own experience, the things that I've been through, and realizing that these are at the end just labels. When you create something, you create it because you believe that you are able to create it. And probably if you want to step into another kind of or shape of art or any other kind of creativity activity, first of all, you need to believe that you can do it. Maybe you don't have to 100% believe that you can do it, but at least just a little light at the end of the tunnel that can help you to come with some ideas and to gather the strength that you need to create something, no matter what it is. It can be from just writing a song to making a sketch or any kind of activity that makes you happy, actually. So in my opinion, the things that hold me back, and still, because I am still working on it, it was my ignorance regarding the fact that I wouldn't I wouldn't know what I wanted or how I wanted, and my ignorance hold me so much. It was a huge resistance that I didn't have self compassion. I have so much self doubt. I had so much lack of love of myself, and in general, my ego was always in the way, and I am still learning to let those attachments go. So basically, my belief system. I will not let this process go because my ego was always in the way. Not letting me become better because I thought, oh, I'm just a tattooer, or I'm just a painter, or I'm just this, and all these labels were just limitations for me. So I will not become anything else unless I realize, but why? Why am I putting myself so much limitations when I can do anything I want without the expectation of any outcome? Who cares? I mean, who am I pleasing? Nobody, because at the end, I'm not saying that nobody cares. I'm just saying nobody
Right.
really, everybody is in the same position. We are just a reflection of each other, And at the end, I do it because I want to, because I have to enjoy it. Otherwise, it makes no sense. So I had all these things, like I was always feeling ashamed and of anything, like, for example, playing guitar in front of people. Like, I will not play good in front of people because I thought I was not good enough. And then I started asking myself, okay, I'm not good enough for who? Because we all have a different way of learning. We all grow in a different rhythm,
Mm-hmm.
And caring so much what other people think. I think that is one of the worst prisons we can all experience, because at the end, one mind is just a different set of beliefs. It's just a different world, and it's just nonsense when you think about it.
Yeah, especially in hindsight, looking back, you're like, why? What was my problem? I had the same thing. I make these music videos called Words Plus Music.
Mm-hmm.
I would listen to a song and I could use it as inspiration to write a story. And then I would think about, the story is great as I was reading it on paper, but it would be great if it could somehow accompany the music that inspired it. So I was like, why don't I just make music videos where I write a story that goes along with the music? But then I had like a little bit over 2 years of doubt of just kind of thinking of this idea, and I was like, yeah, that's cool to do, but I don't know, nobody's ever done that. It's kind of weird, And it was like you said, it was that doubt, like, but who cares? Like, who cares? Like, what was stopping me from creating it? It was just me. It's just you.
It's just yourself. And I honestly think sometimes, and most of the time, most of us, we don't jump into something unknown because we'd rather to keep ourselves comfortable and knowing that even if we didn't do it, we might have succeed or not. And it's even comfortable to think that instead of just going for it and having the chance to fail, like, okay, I failed. But you know what? You did it. And it requires to have a lot of guts to do things, something that nobody else is expecting. Like when you are stepping out of your whatever that you're doing, and people is like, oh, but she's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is not the person I know. And then you may be even surprised of yourself, like, this is not even the person I knew. Oh, wow, this is cool. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I honestly encourage people and encourage you as well to, just do anything. If you have an idea, just take it forward and push it until you cannot push it any further to see where it can lead you. Who knows? I'm doing the same.
Absolutely. And the unknown isn't usually as scary as as it seems before you do it, because once you're doing it, it is known.
Yeah, exactly.
If that makes any sense.
Of course.
And there's always, some, like you said, push yourself until you can't anymore. You can always, like, even when you're smack dab in the middle of, the creation, it's it feels natural because you've gone along that storyline. You've been through the process, so you're still in the middle of the story, and it's not as scary as kind of jumping off a cliff, because you can kind of still keep going.
No, you get used to it, and the things. What is the worst thing that can happen? I always say, okay, what is the worst thing that can happen? That I lose all my money? Well, it's just money, it comes and goes. That I die? I'm gonna die anyway. So, what is the worst thing that can happen? And when you cannot push it any further, something else will come along, and then you will take that thing, and then you will push it further too. So it's a game. It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, it is never ending, and that's a good thing. Are there any other things that kind of hold you back? Do you have any other resistances that hold you back on a daily basis?
I'm still dealing with the fact that I am not good enough. I think it's the belief system that I've been holding for so many years, and it's not serving me any longer. So I am putting my brain to work harder to try to change all these thoughts that are like really holding me back, because I've proved myself that I can do. And I've proved myself that I can do better if I keep working, and if I keep gaining some knowledge, and if I keep meeting people, having fun on it, and doing this and doing that. It's just a matter of practice, of opening myself. And that part is like the not good enough. Is something I'm still working on with another stuff as well, but it's all related, And I just tell myself I'm not good enough. I'm good enough for who? So I'm just the best version of myself I can be today. I just want to change my belief system for those negative ones, for a more positive kind. And when I say positive, I don't mean like, oh, looking at all the work in pinky, and no, I mean putting action on it, actually. Not just like, if I think positive will come to me. No, putting action on it, actually. Not just a stand and sit in your couch and waiting for everything to just come to you.
Yeah, absolutely. That whole, The Secret or whatever, where positive thinking is great, but you have to. I think some people don't realize that you do have to use that positive thinking to actually take action. It's not about just making a dream board and kind of all day thinking about the things that you want to have. It's about thinking about the things that you want to have and then taking the steps to get there. And
Exactly.
I think that's the part that a lot of people miss.
Because it's not, it's not only the things that you think and you are waiting for they to show up in your life. It's actually the beliefs that you are holding, because it's layers of things that you have in your mind or in your being or whatever. And you have to dig deeper, it's not, I just think positive and it will come to me. No, it's not that simple. It's not like, it's not so easy as it sounds in that book and all these new age ideas,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's really putting work in there. So we need to stop being lazy. And the thing is, for something that you like and for something that you are excited about, even if you are scared, it's exciting, and that's what you have to follow. Like, oh, it's exciting. Oh, maybe I should go that direction, That is one of my advice to people, and to let the part of I'm not good enough aside, and just let that little light from the tunnel shine through a little bit, and let that light guide you a little bit to create something.
Absolutely. Yeah. Follow that light, and, like you said, do what excites you, whatever makes your heart kind of beat a little bit faster, keep going towards that. So could you maybe take us back to one of your best or most triumphant creative moments?
Oh, well, I could say that it's been lately, the last, when I wanted to release my first EP, I went to master the work in one of the best studios in Holland. And it happened to be with a Grammy winner. She's a Grammy winner.
Oh, cool.
Yes, she's amazing. And not only that, like when I was there and I was in that huge mastering room, and she was so nice and so humble and amazing person. And I was thinking, okay, I might not be completely satisfied with the whole music, but I must be doing something right because I'm here. So for me, it was like this, something that I felt in my chest, that I felt there must be something I'm doing right because this is beautiful. Otherwise, I wouldn't find myself encountering with passionate people who loves what they are doing. And I don't know, maybe I will have closed doors when I want to do things, pushing the music forward, But it didn't. So I was there and I saw myself listening this music and these amazing huge speakers, and there she was, a person who has been, in red carpets and stuff like that. And it's not that I want that, but she knew what she was doing. She's passionate, and I said, this is an accomplishment, to be surrounded with people who loves what they do. And that's for me the best outcome, to share experience and knowledge and being great to each other.
Absolutely. That's a really cool opportunity. And that's cool. Yeah. Like you said, don't close the doors, just open them. And you might find yourself in a grand studio with a Grammy award winning producer. That's so cool.
I mean, I'm just mentioning that because I didn't even know that she had a Grammy. I didn't want to check the things she did before regarding to prices and all those things because I didn't want to feel a little bit intimidated when I met her. And I did after, but I did know that she was great anyway. So it was not the fact that she won that prize or anything. It's the fact that I'm doing something I love with somebody who's also passionate about what she's doing. And for me, it felt just great. It was just a great, great experience.
That's so cool. And you're right. It's kind of like once you start, going down that path of starting something new, you never know where that path is going to take you and who you're going to meet along that path. And then, as you said, where you can kind of branch off from there. So cool.
It's just really exciting, and it might be scary, the unknown, but it's really exciting. It's addictive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of speaking about that, what does art and creativity bring to your life?
Balance. And when I paint and when I tattoo is another opportunity to meditate, to go deeper into myself, to get myself to know better. So it gives me a lot of balance, and because I have a very, very busy mind. So it gives me a lot of balance and a lot of peace. Yeah.
Excellent. Do you have a favorite book, YouTube clip, or something else that you draw inspiration from and that maybe we could as well?
Yes, I recently finished one of my favorite books, which is called How Music Works, from David Byrne, from the Talking Heads.
Oh, cool.
It is a very, very, very good book, and I recommend it to anyone who is into music. And also, I have this book, which I really, really like. It's called Who I Am, from Pete Townsend, from The Who. And it's very inspirational. It's very touching. And I think a lot of people could relate as well. It's very personal. And like one of my favorite movies is Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, the whole time traveling and space and time is just really fascinating to me. And it's showing you, it's no limits. You can do really literally anything you want. And I know it sounds cliche though, but it's true.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I still agree with what Drew Barrymore says in that movie, that cellar door is
it's one of the most beautiful words. Yes.
Yeah, best combination of words.
Yes.
I love
it. Mm-hmm.
All right, Yliana, it is time for our final push, and this is where I ask you to kind of reach through the microphone and grab the shoulder of somebody that you've already inspired today, who's thinking, maybe I could start this new pursuit, maybe I could, or maybe I need to continue what I'm doing already, and really give them your best words of advice and push them into doing it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I was thinking about her, and I think the best metaphor I could get with is, I'm going to talk to this person that I don't know. You know what? When you look at in the sky and you see the sky and you see that there are clouds in the sky, sometimes there are dark clouds and it's about to rain. I think it's important to bear in mind that when you compare yourself, you are the sky, you are the sky, and your thoughts are the clouds. You are holding those thoughts, but you are not the thoughts. So whatever thoughts are you jumping or crossing in your mind, you are not those thoughts. You are the thing, the awareness, or however you want to call it, behind those thoughts. And it's you who decide what you put in there. So basically, your body is a computer, the hardware, and your thoughts or program is the software, is like, and then it's you decide what to put in there. So then it comes all those fears and all those things holding you back. It's you who decides. So take a little bit of a strength, look at those thoughts are just something clouding your mind, and maybe push them aside a little bit and just try something new. Or even if it's not new for you, just try it a little bit further, to see where it can lead you. I'm sure that when something is done with a positive and good intention for yourself and you are enjoying it, you will find a lot of surprises coming on your way.
That was beautiful.
So,
Absolutely beautiful. I love that analogy. Yliana, thank you so much for coming on the show today and for giving us that push.
Thanks to you. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed it.
Of course. And you can find Yliana on her website, which is YlianaPaolini.com. That's YlianaPaolini.com. And you can also find all the links we talked about today on our show notes page at yourcreativepush.com/Yliana. Or you can also find Yliana on her Facebook page of her new music identity, which is Kreutz. Am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm. Kreutz, yes.
And that's on Facebook, it's Kreutz Official.
Yes.
Yliana, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Wow, huge thank you to Yliana for coming on the show. It's really interesting and almost it's almost inspiring to have somebody come on the show who's so talented yet is so honest about their self-doubt. If you haven't already, go check out her tattoo work and you will understand what I'm talking about. And you'll hear the songs as well in this podcast to see how talented she is in pretty much everything she does. So it's kind of strangely inspiring to see that, somebody who is so talented does have these doubts as well, because we all have them, and we all also define ourselves too much. Surprise everyone and surprise yourself by doing something different, something that people don't expect you to do. You might have doubts, but so what? You're doing it for yourself first and foremost. So, be kind and be a gentle audience to yourself as you start and as you get better. But if somebody does tell you that you're no good or your work sucks or whatever, just ask them to show you what they've done. And more than likely, they won't have anything to show you, and then you can just drop the mic. On tomorrow's show, we have Alex Hofelt.
People are stuck in their ways of their mind, and then they're also just trapped in their bodies, Like I love when I can get through to someone about health and wellness, not to, look sexy and have like the sweet six pack, like we all want to look good with our shirt off. Sure, whatever. I can't deny that, but it's just like you can start to do the things that you like to do better, and you can get outside on this cool little rock that we call Earth and go explore it, and play with your kids better and just enjoy life more. And that's what this is about. We're gonna be here for only a little glitch of time, just like the stars in the sky. That from the second we're born, we're on our way out, and that's always in the back of my mind a little bit. And I just wanna suck it up, get as much out of this weird little life as we can. And creativity is what a conduit. What a way to do it.
Alex is a high school science teacher that has become a podcaster, and he has become one of my pretty good friends. And he has this awesome podcast called Beautiful Dust Specks, which has become my favorite podcast because he talks about all the geeky stuff that I think about all the time, but there's nobody in my life that I can talk to about all that stuff. So I really enjoyed my conversation with him, and it was really inspiring to hear about his journey going from teaching into podcasting. But that is for you tomorrow. Hopefully you're inspired today to go and get your work done. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing. I love you guys, and we are going to leave you with You Fearless by Kreutz. This is my favorite song on Yliana's new EP, and I really hope you enjoy it. So I hope that it further inspires you to go and get your work done. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
I like to take you for a walk. Come with